Lennart Lundh, this gentleman, if you get to be his Facebook friend, he is so up on places that are accepting submissions for poetry. It's worth it just for that, but you're going to like his reading too. Lennart Lundh.
Thank you, Frank. I try real hard to share the information that comes my way, because 2.5, 3 years ago, when I was trying to get into reading my work in public, after about 45 years of writing, I couldn't find any information. I stumbled into somebody who led me to somebody else, and it seems the best way to let other people know what's going on. A couple of poems. The first one from back in the mid-'70s, back before the lady it was written about died by fire instead of from the alcohol she was consuming. It's called Buckeye. I picked a flower, but it was a butterfly that flew away before you came to me. It's probably just as well. I didn't know when I picked out the poems for tonight, because I did it back at the beginning of the month, that Bruce was going to talk about relatives showing up at the doorstep. But so the coincidence here is nothing more than that. Buried in the backyard. I told my folks, I said, yeah, I know. You've come a long way, but you can't stay here. I told my sister the same thing. I said, it's our bunker, and there's just no room for you. This is what the end of the world has done to us. I'm sorry I had to shoot her cat to make my point. First college I went to, back in '66 out of high school, was down in Jacksonville, Illinois, which, if anybody's familiar with the Springfield area, Jacksonville is about 30 miles southwest in the middle of nowhere. One of the few towns in the United States that after the Second World War saw a decline in population rather than an increase. Central somewhere. So this, after all the shops have closed and even the bank clock stops, is the site of a small town. 3 in the morning. The square is empty, and no one on earth would know if you didn't walk across to see. Someone's nickel still hums in a parking spot gone cold. Some lights still glow, but they cast no sidewalk shadows. And some fool bird sings long before the dawn. You wonder why he's up at such a madman's hour. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lynn. And everybody give yourself a hand, because it's you that we do this for, Waterline. If it wasn't for you, it would just be